Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another match for the Touhou Project Mania Cup 4th edition. Had a small break of about 6 hours, but we are finally here with yet another match. This one going to be quite the fight, with Girlfriend ASMR as seed 3 facing off against cheewee10 seed 14. So some pretty high seeds here, still duking it out in the winners bracket. My name is Dynascape, and I'm not alone. Tonight I am joined by my good friend Sunapple. How are we doing?
Hello. I am here. I am Sanae. I am very excited for this match. I was talking to you earlier just now. I've been really interested in seeing cheewee10. I've seen their team team members for quite a while in the OC Mania scene, and I really never thought of them as being like too physical. But I was very surprised by their qualifier results, considering how difficult the qualifiers are. But we will be going into the match right now. We're going to be seeing, I believe this is one of the Rice picks. This is one of the LN picks. I think this is also a custom song, actually, by Cherry Cho.
Yeah, this is LN3, I believe, another Apple, and I mean, Girlfriend ASMR, obviously, with the with 2/3 of that USA MWC LN lineup. That's gonna be a tall order for J-Lie and Tosai to try to beat them out on it, but it is not impossible at all. I think that for cheewee10, their best skill set in particular is LN, so if it's gonna be on a map, it should be on a map like this. And so Girlfriend ASMR getting that little bit of a lead here, but anything can really change.
Yeah, this lead is very small, honestly, only 2.5k. Also, cheewee10 did protect an LN map, and Girlfriend ASMR did ban a LN map as well. So these teams are definitely really focusing on this LN ability for each of their teams. So I think this first map is going to be very pivotal. Right now it is a 3k, almost 4k lead, so very close still. It's honestly kind of narrowing for cheewee10. It's not as far as it could be, mostly just because I believe Neptune got a few, or I think Peach Marrow got like a 200 at some point, and that's like kind of messing them up.
Yeah, and I mean, even though that lead is still slowly climbing, it's not insurmountable just yet. I think that if Girlfriend ASMR were to break, even if it were clean, cheewee10 should be able to regain it. But no, it's Tosai actually the first one to find the break, resetting their hidden mod as well. So maybe a bit of a difficulty in reading that. As we get into this last fourth here, lowest accuracy in the lobby, Tosai with that miss, but also J-Lie doing a really good job of keeping up with Peach Marrow. It's just that top half over there, the difference is way too much with Neptune at a 99.95.
Yeah, Neptune is just very well known to be able to act basically any kind of LN maps, and this is no exception, as we do see 99.95. This is one of the top scores in the tournament in general, and it's just very hard to be able to even compete with this kind of stage or this kind of performance.
As you can see here, DDP coming out from Neptune, Peach Marrow doing slightly better than J-Lie, and of course being out Tosai as well. So Girlfriend ASMR gonna go ahead and take that first break point and try to pick something else of their own. Obviously with cheewee10 gunning for anything in the LN section, maybe some of the hybrids, you'd have to expect some of the Rice picks chosen for Team Red, especially some of the nastier ones like Rice 6, or maybe even Rise 4 if we were going for a vocal dump oriented pick.
Yeah, I will say Rice 6 is banned in this match by cheewee10, so we won't actually be seeing that. So I think, as you were saying, Rice 4 going for a more dumpy map, going for something that's a bit more difficult to be able to like play perfectly, since Girlfriend ASMR just has that ability to play basically anything very perfectly. I think that is probably going to be their best pick and probably what they're going to be going for. Like, I can't really see anything else that is necessarily better, though honestly I think anything in the Rice pool can work for them.
Yeah, pretty much. And we see the map pool here finally for an extended time. Bans coming out, blue team banning Rice 6. Makes sense, as I would have expected. It's like probably the hardest Rice map in the pool and definitely the most scathing. And the Girlfriend ASMR taking out LN1, so that release coordination map, and that one's pretty nasty. We saw a lot of people earlier this weekend getting a lot of misses, honestly, on those kinds of maps. Very choky, so I can see why they wanted to not play that. And then, of course, for the Protect, we have the streams pick for Team Red. In that foreground Eclipse song, just a very simple 1/6 streams, I think, going up to around 290 BPM. And then cheewee10 protecting LN2, which is the density pick at 180 BPM. So pretty low considering where we're at in the tournament. However, again, like I said, they're pretty good overall in terms of LN accuracy. So I think that is probably the next best choice for them.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And I believe we did get a tactical timeout that is coming out. Peach Marrow did say that they had headphone issues, I believe. I think they said that their headphone either turned off or like just broke. Something happened. So I think they're getting it fixed right now for Girlfriend ASMR, and it looks like they're all good. So I think we're going to be seeing this pick out very, very soon. Honestly, I think what you were saying, Rice 1, Rice 4, something in that round. I would want to see Rice 2 because I really like Felt as an artist, personally, as my bias. But really anything can come out here.
Yeah, no, I really like New World from Felt. If I'm not mistaken, and anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, I think a previous THMC had a Reiwu map for like a vocal dump stream. But I tried to check earlier, but it was deleted off their profile, so not sure what happened there. Girlfriend ASMR going for Rice 4, Peach Marrow fixing their headphones. Honestly, I playing Overwatch with him, it's like he's not playing with headphones anyways, so I don't think it would have affected his performance, headphones on or off. But with that all being said, get into it. I wouldn't imagine too many crazy picks, since Neptune and Peach Marrow are just really good at early game accuracy, and Tosa and Jeli staying in as well, so it seems like everyone's set in stone.
Yeah, I will say this map is 3 minutes, as we are seeing, so definitely a lot of places for mistakes. We did see Girlfriend ASMR take breaks in their last match. We did, I believe, me and you, we did commentate their round of 32 match. So it is definitely possible for Girlfriend ASMR to be able to take a miss or two. Don't think they're undefeatable, I guess. They are definitely human.
Exactly, they are not invincible, and yes, they do have the edge probably in overall accuracy, but as long as cheewee10 can stay consistent, they can take points off of Girlfriend ASMR no problem, because that base accuracy is there and within striking distance where one miss would matter for Team Red. So definitely they have to stay on their toes and get some awkward mini jack transitions and some split trills, but soon we'll get into the first shorter part of this vocal dump.
Yeah, and we are kind of getting into it right now. Not much of a lead for either team. Honestly, cheewee10 really doing very, very well in this intro. Though Nepogen is just very much excelling compared to everybody else at this 99.98 as we get to this first quarter. Though there's just so much map left, honestly. There's nothing that we can really say, and the lead is very, very small, honestly. I did not expect it to be this small, personally. I thought it was going to be more closer to, like, the 1 to 2k range by now, but, like, we're still just barely getting to this 1k, and it's still kind of shrinking.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Jeli and Tosai putting up very impressive accuracies. I'm sure they would have beaten a lot of other teams with this at the moment, given the score. However, it's just not enough. Girlfriend ASMR slowly climbing that lead by just a little bit, and especially when the dump gear sections happen, more perfects tend to come out on the right side of the screen. But we do have this little slowdown. We do have a couple more stranger transitions, and that staircase not catching anyone out. Maybe a bit more damage taken on Team Blue's side, but as it stands, everyone still has that 4-way FC.
Yeah, there is only a 2.5k lead, and the miss lead, or for a miss, I believe it is about a 5k difference. So definitely if Girlfriend ASMR takes a miss or two, which they can definitely do as we get to this last quarter. It can instantly switch over for cheewee10, and then they will be able to take another breakpoint. And we aren't seeing it so far. This lead is actually increasing since we've last seen it at this 4K mark, basically. Going into the last section of the map, we really need to see something come out from Girlfriend ASMR if cheewee10 want to have even a smidge of a chance of a lead.
Yeah, I've got to attribute that climbing lead to that mental stamina. You know, as the map is pretty long at about 3 minutes, as it gets longer and longer, you tend to find yourself a bit more unfocused at some parts, and especially on a map like this with changing snaps. It can be really tough to hold that accuracy for as long as you can. And it seems like for Girlfriend ASMR, they just beat out Team Blue by a pretty decent margin. I mean, 6,000 points on a 4-way FC, especially when both players on Team Blue had that V1SS. Just not enough. If you add up the 300s on Nupgen and Peach Marrow, still would be less than J-Li's. So that really is a show of the difference between these teams.
That's something. 38 is kind of crazy. On this kind of map, I feel like that is just absolutely absurd. And as you were saying, we saw this last week as well. Nupgen and Peach Marrow's ratio, their 300 count is basically adding up to one of the opponent's 300 count. And it is kind of insane how this is the case, how this is still happening as we get harder into the tournament.
Yeah, just kind of like that recurring plotline that I'm sure we'll probably see in some aspects in the next round even as well. But I mean, 999 from Nupgen and overall very clean score from Peach Marrow as well. Deservedly, Team Red do take their second point. And cheewee10 trying to strike back. They do have a couple of options open, but they opt to go for their Protect. So we are going to see Princess Lily, that density map that I talked about. And I mean, anything's possible. Like we said, I mean, I think Peach Marrow even missed last week in one of the maps, so that could be recreated again, and cheewee10 holds steady like they did on that rice map that we just played through, then I think Team Blue can still take a point.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I do feel like if cheewee10 didn't miss on the last map, or on the last LN map, there was definitely a possibility for them to be able to take a point as long as Girlfriend ASMR also missed. But it is definitely not very... You definitely shouldn't be relying on that, since I believe they only missed like once or twice throughout the entire match last week. And honestly, it seemed like they weren't very, I guess, practiced on the map. I don't think they were taking it too seriously. And I think as we go further in this tournament, Girlfriend ASMR is definitely going to be more like practicing the maps, making sure that everything is right. And I think at this point, it is going to be a very low chance of a miss happening. Though, I could be cursing it, and maybe they just take a break randomly throughout this map.
Yeah, Nupgen and Peach Marrow very much grinders, did what they could to get to this level of play, and it really does show, even if they don't practice the maps, how good they can be. And right now, on this map, taking that early lead, it's got, you know, it's kind of unorthodox for a density map, I would say. You know, there's a lot of rice notes around it, and I think that some of the trailing ends can be a bit awkward, and I think that leads a little bit to Touhou taking a hit in accuracy. But other than that, I mean, the rest of the three are very much in sync with each other at a 99.9.
Yeah, I will say Touhou has just been lagging behind quite a bit in all these maps. Not too much, definitely the most here, about a 0.2 difference between everybody else. And that is definitely not helping cheewee10's like chances of being able to take this. We are getting to this 4K point lead for Girlfriend ASMR. So they still have the ability to FC, and if Girlfriend ASMR misses, they can take the point, but we're slowly but surely losing that opportunity for cheewee10.
Yeah, a lot of lates coming out from Touhou, and I suspect that's from some of these quicker switches, and the split trill not getting anyone out. J-Light dropping a bit in accuracy, so solidly behind Peach Marrow, but it still does not matter. Team Red is very much so in the driver's seat as we pass through into this last third. Again, it's really up to Team Red to take the dive. There's nothing that can be done on Team Blue's side at the moment.
Yeah, we really are just seeing great after great coming out from Tosai right now, and that's really the reason I would say that this lead has increased by so much. It is now 10k. We are at this last quarter. We're going to need to see quite a few misses to come out from Girlfriend ASMR. Both players will most likely need to miss at this point. But Girlfriend ASMR is just looking very, very confident on all these LN patterns, even though I would say these are, as you were saying, a bit more difficult in terms of LN density patterns, but still just playing them basically perfectly, both at this 99.9 range, not even close to dropping down.
And it's so scary to think about how Team Red can beat out a team by 13,000 points, even though everyone FC'd. And not even that, not just any team in general. We're talking about seed 14 here, one of the upper mid seeds in the tournament out of all 64 that played through. And I mean, just absolute dominance yet again from Team Red. And they're going to be rewarded with the 3rd point and the next pick. So this is potentially their last point. They do have Rice 1 in their pocket. And as I was saying, could be their last pick, might as well launch it now if that's what you're feeling, and cheewee really do need to make some moves right now.
Yeah, either Rice 1, Rice 2 could also be an option. I believe that is the Core Jack map, and I guarantee that Girlfriend ASMR has the Core Jack ability and definitely the ACK ability, though we are going to be seeing Rice 1 probably just trying to pick something that's very, very comfortable for them and not wanting to, I guess, go into a bit of a gamble in that Rice 2 that can happen in these kinds of Core Jacks map.
Yep, so, I mean, I took a look through the streams, and there isn't anything crazy. There's a couple of, non-stream transitions, but other than that, it's just 2.5 minutes of pure streams. Nothing to really deviate from that formula, and so I think that's a bit of the reason why Team Red wanted to go for this. Is not only is there a decent physicality barrier compared to some of the other maps, it's also decently long, so it requires stamina, but there's also no tricks up the map sleeves, so less chokeability overall. It's really just, if you have the physicality and stamina for this map, then you're gonna succeed.
Yeah, I definitely do think that this map being a bit more simpler is most likely the reason why Girlfriend ASMR is going to pick it. There isn't really anywhere where I think they will have too much trouble of being able to, I guess, not FC or something. And that is something that a lot of these higher seeded teams really, really want. Just something very consistent to be able to play as well as possible, since these high seeded teams generally have very, very good ACK. The map pool in the qualifiers are very hard. Though, for these high-seeded teams, they're just basically able to play as though they're ACK maps, and as a result, they can definitely play these easier maps, since these maps, they're significantly easier than the qualifiers, I would say. So, it's like, not too bad, and something easier is going to be something that is like, I guess, you're a lot more confident in.
Exactly, and on a map like this, confidence is key. You need to go in knowing that you can hit every single pattern on this map, and it is no problem for you. And I think that's the mindset that Team Red has had going into some of these maps, where they just exude absolute confidence, and it really shows in the difference in ability right now. 4,000 points of a lead for Team Red. J-Lai and Tosai lacking a bit in accuracy, as we've seen through and throughout, but nonetheless, still amazing accuracies given the circumstance.
Yeah, Nepogen just kind of being ahead everybody basically by so much at this percentage right now. And that's really the difference maker. If Peach Marrow was on his team with maybe himself, it'd be so much closer. But just because Nepogen has such a high accuracy, it is definitely the reason why this score is so high. At the 6,000 points, it is just absolutely absurd.
Yep, and I mean, you put Nepogen on any team and he really does just becomes the X factor. And so just to pair up with someone like Peach Marrow is what makes it all the more daunting for a team like cheewee10, who's trying to survive in the round of 16 winner bracket, who doesn't know if they're going to make it through next week in the quarterfinals losers bracket. it's just so tough to know, how to play against fiends like this, and Tosai wavering at the absolute aura that Neptune and Peachmero have right now do take that miss in the last section of the map. To be fair, it was the longest dump section or stream section of the map, so it's very understandable, but it's not going to do them any good as they fall to a 20,000 point lead, and it's very, very simple ending. Double release, right hand, double release, left hand, and we're going to see it. Girlfriend ASMR at match point 4-0. Very scary situation for cheewee10 as they try to gather what they should pick next.
Yeah, this aura, as you said, from Girlfriend ASMR, just absolutely insane. Once again, adding up their 300s doesn't even come close, honestly, to either of the players' 300 counts, which is just insane. Basically a 1-to-100 ratio from Neptune, which is kind of unheard of, I would say, in these kinds of maps.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about THMC round of 16 maps. 1 to 100, 100ing anything by itself is like a very great feat, but to do it on a tournament, basically an early mid-range tournament map, especially in the open rank range, absolutely insane. And so, again, cheewee10 trying to look for that correct last pick. Could they go for LN4? I'm not sure. I think it's a bit too physical. It's kind of a monster compared to the other LN maps in the pool. Maybe a hybrid would suit them, but I just don't know if they have the confidence going into one of them.
Yeah, honestly, this is definitely a very difficult position for cheewee10. As you said, the LN4 is just like so hard. And you don't really want to go into a hybrid just because, like, I think Girlfriend ASMR just has the advantage in that since we've seen them play so well on Rice and LN. But we're actually going to be going a different direction. Rice 2. Maybe just wanting to go for something a bit more simpler, trying to go for Girlfriend ASMR taking a breaker shoot on this, and we may be seeing Neptune leave. Oh, never mind. Maybe something. They were just moving slots.
Yeah, we do actually get some slots in new faces for cheewee10. I saw Funeral there, and also Readjust. No, but instead of Funeral, they are gonna get J-Lai, so Readjust subbing in for Tosai on this jump stream map. Bit of an awkward rate, 1.134, the 220 BPM threshold, but what I'm really looking at is the OD. Like we saw, cheewee10's players kind of eke a bit in terms of accuracy, and when you're playing such fast jump stream at such a high OD, it feels like sometimes maybe you can't catch up, especially given the length of the map. It's almost like a stamina pick in that sense. So that's really going to be the challenge for cheewee10, is just keep that accuracy up as long as you can, even with a map like this being so physical.
Yeah, and actually I believe this is one of the first sub-outs that we are seeing for Girlfriend ASMR. We aren't seeing Peachmero playing this. We will instead be seeing Invadey playing this, so going to be very, very interesting. I'm not too sure how good Invadey's accuracy is. I do know it is very good, but I think in comparison to Peachmero, I think that is going to be the thing that I'm going to be looking at the most, since Peachmero is just well known for their accuracy ability, and I don't believe Invadey is.
Maybe just getting Invadey warm on just tournament play in general, since I know, again, obviously Invadey won't get, or wouldn't have a lot of opportunities early on to be shown in a match sense. So I mean, so far Invadey's doing just fine, about the same as Readjust, and Neptune really carrying that small 3-digit lead over J-Lai.
Yeah, and Neptune having a act, I guess, one of the acts of all time, 100% right now. But Invadey definitely able to keep up very, very well. Definitely just having good accuracy right now, though J-Lai is able to go slightly ahead. And that is why this lead isn't as big, but as we go further, I do think Invadey is going to be eking out quite a bit on that, just because of the physicality that will happen in this map.
Exactly, and I mean, honestly, we kind of see it here where Readjust has dipped a bit in terms of accuracy, whereas Invadey has stayed pretty much the same since that last burst. And that was one of these shorter jump stream sections. We do get a decent amount of a break. However, we're only a third of the way through, so can ReJust really hold on to that accuracy, or maybe can Invadey drop in accuracy as the map goes on? We'll just have to see. JLight really doing their best to match someone on Girlfriend ASMR, and they're really minimizing the damage here as much as they can. I think with only 2,400 points halfway through, I think that's a lot better than how some of the other maps have went. So all things considered, things looking decently good for Team Blue.
Yeah, I think them minimizing this damage by so much can definitely come in clutch if Girlfriend ASMR takes either misses, which can be definitely possible. This map is pretty dense and has a lot of places where you can kind of trip up your fingers if you aren't like either warm or not playing like too well, or overthinking patterns, which can be definitely done in these more simpler patterns that we are seeing. We see this lead increasing to this 3K, something that we've seen quite a bit in this match, though not at this time. I feel like this is definitely the latest that this lead has grown so much.
Yeah, and like you were saying with the patterning, in a place such as this, there's definitely a lot more trills than the usual patterning that we've seen, and even that inside trill can be quite nasty, but no one falls for it. In the regular jump stream though, it's more like it's very staircasey, not too hard on the fingers, but sometimes with the changing density, when you have some of those hands, it can be quite the mix-up. But Girlfriend ASMR is just really running away with it at this point. Last real section here, and 5,000 points is such a comfy lead. I don't know if it's enough for them. If Girlfriend ASMR were to drop, I don't know if cheewee10 would take the lead.
Yeah, I think at this point, I don't feel like it'll happen, especially considering Girlfriend ASMR is just like accuracies in total. Neptune still at this 99.9. Was at it. Oh, I guess they go back. They were just on the cusp. But yeah, this accuracy lead is just so insane. cheewee10 were able to get generally to the same accuracy, but it's just like not enough against these two players. Invadey definitely proving themselves in their accuracy, which is very good to see.
All right, let's see the number. Neptune.
30.
32. Okay,
Let's
so
go.
yeah, another 1-to-100 performance by Neptune, essentially, and Invadey doing well to fend off both JLi and ReJust when it comes to the 300s. So because of that, they are going to take that match point and move on into the quarterfinals through the winners bracket side. So congratulations to Team Red, Girlfriend ASMR, for winning in quite a clean fashion. I mean, pretty much went as how a lot of people would have expected, but obviously cheewee10 putting up such a great performance would have beat out, like I said, many other teams, even some that are higher seeded than them with performances like that. So a very good effort from cheewee10, Team Blue, for making this far. Run's not over for them yet. They still have the losers bracket in store next week for them, but that is gonna do it for this match. Girlfriend ASMR taking that victory. They are gonna face, I don't believe that their match is decided yet. I think that's gonna be later on in that block when they're gonna see who the winner is. But looking at the schedule, this was kind of an isolated match. We do not have another match until Sunday, 10 UTC, so in about 4.5 hours. And then going on from 10 UTC all the way to 15 UTC, there's like 8 or 9 matches, so very much so jam-packed on the Sunday for you guys to enjoy. That's gonna do it for us for now. We hope you guys enjoyed this match, and we will catch you in about 5 hours for the next one.